I know you cool with you and Bandana. That's your boy. How did you meet RedRum?
When I first met Rum, I want to say it was about, I want to say about 99, 2000. It might have been a little sooner than that because the Diamond Riders Part 2 wasn't out yet. I know that for a fact. And I happened to be in Inglewood. And I think they were shooting, if I'm not mistaken, and he's probably gonna trip out when he sees this.
Yeah.
But for some reason or the other, they were having the photo shoot at Inglewood, if I'm not mistaken. But I think somebody said something to me because, at the time, I mean, we'll get into that. Probably I'll fly just to avoid offending my crip partners and shit.
Right, understood.
But at the time and shit, I was doing the whole blue stuff and shit. Eventually, I just said, I ain't wearing no more blue,
Uh-huh.
And, but I might have had blue chucks on. I might have had blue rag on. I don't know what the fuck. But somebody from his camp said something to me about, throw that, that derogatory word for blue.
Right.
And I said, man, fuck you, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I was little. I was real young. I don't even think I was a teen yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude pressed up on me and shit. And BBrazy happened to be there. Rest in peace, BBrazy.
Right.
Brazy was one of the ones that was like, hey, nigga, shut up. You know what I mean? It turned into a whole little scuffle. The people I was with came out the house and they almost turned into a little thing and shit. And RedRum was like, nah. Matter of fact, I think it might have been RedRum's name for that shit. But Rum was like, nah, y'all come the fuck down. He came out, RedRum's a natural born leader. But he's the one that kind of diffused the situation and shit. And after that, it ended right there. And that was like my first encounter with him, man. When he sees it, he's gonna trip out. He's gonna remember that story.
Damn.
You know what I mean? But
and you said that was like 99?
It had to be because I went to jail not too long after. So that's what I'm saying. It might be a little earlier than that. You know what I mean? But the Diamond Riders Part 2 wasn't out yet. You know what I mean? But long story short, that's how I met him. And then that was my first encounter with him. But then a couple years later, shit, we met. I think I might have met him at the Compton swap meet and shit like that. And I introduced myself, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you look familiar. You look real familiar." Mm-hmm. And then with the music stuff, we just had mutual acquaintances, and we just, we got reconnected. And I was like, I want to say 06. That's when we really got back acquainted. And and I'm sure he remember. I think I brought that story up before. Like, I remember that shit, man. But we never really had that conversation. But after this, he's gonna want to have that conversation. But yeah. We met on some gangster shit. We definitely met on some street shit. Same shit with Nipsey. Same shit with Brazy, BBrazy and shit. These are all LA legends.
That was the first night you met BBrazy too? That
was the first time I met BBrazy. But the thing is that I used to always see BBrazy. I used to always see Brazy because my uncle stayed on 106 in Hoover. And right in the hood, and he was a body man / mechanic, so he used to fix all their fucking cars and shit. You know what I mean? And Tone Malone, these are all legends that I remember seeing growing up. These are all legends that anybody from Lanes and shit will bring up, like, oh yeah, that motherfucker right there, that's a big homie. They're praised. They're actually looked upon as gods and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like Tone Malone, Evil Al, and G6, BBrazy, of course, Big 8 Ball. I used to always see him. Evil Al, he's motherfucking, without saying much, he was a monster. The motherfucker used to walk around with a hockey mask and shit, savage. Okay. And next time you have Jew Dog on here, if you ask him about Evil Al, these are all his people. You know what I mean? These are all his people.
Right.
And but I said, I was real young, really young. Like I'm talking about, I wasn't even in my 10s yet. I think I was still 9 or 8, and I used to see all them fools right there, like on 106 and 108, 109, at 111 Elementary. We used to go and play Figueroa Elementary. Mm-hmm. We used to go play basketball, and they were having the gang meetings up there and shit.
Oh, so you was actually seeing a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, early. And I remember my dad and shit telling me about that. That's when I first learned about the Cutter situation. Because when I was real young and shit, don't tell nobody, but I used to be a Cowboy fan low key because my cousins. You know what I mean? Right. So I had a little bit of fucking some cowboy gear. Yeah. And my dad was the one that first told me. He was like, I know how much you like. I had this fucking pretty badass fucking blue hold on. I think that's a cop. Hold on. Police.
Hell no.
Yeah, I thought that was a fucking police. My heart racing like a motherfucker right
Thank God, this deal.
That was Amazon, man.
Package, man.
Yeah, that motherfucker scared the shit out of me. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, yeah, man. But I'm telling you that. So that was like around the first time that you know, what I mean that I seen Brazy and shit. And eventually, you know, once I got a little bit older, some of the young homies now. I mean, they're the ones running shit now. But what we call the young generation then, like the TYGs as they call them. You know, what I mean, those were the ones I used to play basketball with and shit. So, you know, what I mean, I'm telling you, I was good at basketball until that little issue. You know.
Hoop too, so he's a hooper and a rapper.
Shit. I still got my cool little jump shot and shit. I can still fucking, you know, what I mean, and it's great. I gained a little weight as you can tell and shit, but you know, I was real athletic. You know, once upon a time I was real athletic. You know what I mean? I was football, soccer a little bit. I hated soccer with a fucking passion, but
you gotta have enough wind. You gotta be in shape for soccer.
Mother, you gotta have that capacity, you know, that lung capacity shit. Yeah. That sport's nonstop. It's not fucking stop, man.
It's not.
Yeah, but you know, that's how I met. That's how I met RedRum and shit. And once I got older, and we really started connecting, and you know, our friend, you know, our acquaintances became into a music acquaintance, and they became an actual friendship, and actually became like actual brotherhood and shit. Like I really see RedRum as my brother. You know what I mean? That's why I hate what he's going through right now and shit. You know what I mean? I really hate it. You know what I mean? And shit, I mean, but I ain't trying to get emotional and shit. But you know, whatever Rum's going through, I'm going through it with him. You know what I mean? And not just me. You know what I mean? There's a lot of motherfuckers that he knows. There's a lot of people that really, you know what I mean? That we're going through this together. You know, Obama. we're in this together.
We gotta pray for RedRum, man. A moment of silence for my boy RedRum.
Yeah, shout out to RedRum, man.
Bam, man, we back, man. Shout out to RedRum, man.
Yeah, shout out to RedRum, man. That's family right there.
Yeah, Rum is he's a real LA legend.
You know what's crazy about Rum? That I'm not gonna say no names about any other people. Because and also because you know whenever they try to badmouth certain people, friends of mine and shit, I always put a stop to it.
Yep.
Because there's that old saying that don't tell me why, you know, a motherfucker was talking shit about me. What a motherfucker was saying about me, tell me why they were so comfortable telling you that shit about me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So there's been plenty of situations where, you know what I mean, like people try to down talk certain people that I'm still friends with to this day. But one thing about Rum, ain't no one ever fucking said, not that I will allow them to, they'll get popped in the fucking mouth fast.
Right.
But there's nobody in the fucking world, blue rags or red rags and shit, or Mexicans and shit, that could actually say anything foul about RedRum besides, you know, just being real. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the first thing that comes out of their mouths and shit. Oh, you fuck with RedRum? Shit, that motherfucker real. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a real one right there. You know, that's a solid homie right there. You know what I mean? And you can see it when you meet him and shit. If he don't like you, he ain't gonna fuck with you, period.
He ain't messing with you.
You know what I mean? He's one of them. You know what I mean? He's one of them. Like, well, he'll turn down 1,000, he'll turn down 10,000 fast. Like, man, I ain't fucking with him.
Right, because he don't like him.
You know,
you gotta
a certain rapper, you know what I mean? Little hint. You know, do I need to say more?
Nope.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Him right there was Neil. You know, that dude and shit, you know.
We know exactly who you're speaking of.
Yeah, so you know, that particular cat, he I guess try to, you know, at the end of the day, you know, politics are politics. So just like I said, just because I fuck with the Crips, you know, with the Crip homies doesn't mean that I'm gonna fuck with my Crip enemies, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Same shit with him. Just because he fucks with his, you know, Crip he got Crip partner doesn't mean he's gonna fuck with them, you know, with the mother cats and shit that, you know, did that damage. And RedRum turned that down fast. Like, you know, I mean, hopefully he don't get mad at me for putting that shit on, putting that shit on blast and shit.
Understood.
Because I had RedRum mad at me before, and that's not a pretty sight. But you know what I mean? But yeah, but RedRum turned that down.